Yes, yes, yes. 1 2 1 2. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Samin, and I am the host of the Sam Ayers Show. I want to thank you all for being here today, tonight, today. Hoping everything is good on your end. Yeah, the sound is okay here. I'm hearing a little something. I'm not sure what that is, but you know me with the sound and I'm realizing that if these wires are touching, it gives me just a hiss of feedback. And over here is a little bit on the other side of my setup is just a little bit of wiring that needs to be handled in a certain way. So this has been a full day. This has been a full day of me thinking about everything that's been going on and having opinions of myself, right? So first off, thank you. Really, thank you for hanging out with me just a little bit. I do this thing in the night where it's inventory, self inventory. It's part of my steps where I think about my day and my behavior and the things that I said and then I have to be responsible for some of the things that I've said, right? So I'm always looking at okay, what did you do yesterday? What did you say? What how could you have altered that a little bit? Did you offend somebody intentionally? Was it a mistake? And I have a group of people who will tell me like, Samin, really? Really? Starting with the people who live in my house. They'll constantly like, yo, especially my daughter. My daughter's like, Dad, really? But I'm always aware of it, and I actually do an inventory. So I was thinking over yesterday and watching, and I was also reading a lot of the comments from the things that I put out, the things that I said about yesterday, the things that I heard about yesterday, and it all kind of sound the same. It was just a anger. It was a sort of a disbelief, but not. There's like a cynical disbelief. If I was just to take all the things, whether you were white and black and and for my friends, right? I don't read too much other stuff, but for my people, it was a mix of disappointment, anger, sadness. Not a lot of sadness, a lot of anger, and a lot of if this was black people, this would have happened, and if this was black people, this would have happened, right? So I participated in that, and I said some things, and I actually posted that same picture that Biden's granddaughter apparently gave him from the summer with the Black Lives Matter movement when they had the the guards ready to to protect and serve, right? So I had to think about that, and I was just thinking about me having that up and what I was frustrated about. It was the frustrating frustration that I was even bothered by this, like like in a cynical way, like to say, well, what did you expect to happen? Because there was a lot of comment. If this was a if black person, this would have happened. But what was the most bizarre thing was the anger that the white people actually had the freedom to have, like in a blatantly cursing on TikTok. I mean, it just was a level of anger that I didn't. I had more of a like, wow, wow, really? And I was questioning that was is that like a lid on myself? Am I putting a lid on myself as far as how angry I'm willing to be? Or am I resigned that this is just how it is? Is that a story that I have about how it is? So I question. These are the things that I question, and I'm wondering about. So I thought about the idea of law and order, which is why I did my first podcast. I did my first podcast after the debate when Trump was so focused on that section of law and order. Law and order to me is putting black people in jail. That's what it represents. Whether that's what it is, whether that's what it was intended to be, law and order to me, how it appeared in my life for my community and my family, it meant putting people in jail. Law and order started with Nixon and Reagan. And I think Nixon was the president and Reagan was his vice president. And Ronald Reagan, who when I was a kid, I was like, oh, Ronald Reagan, we have the same birthday, February 6th. I was like, oh yeah, not knowing really the the intention of the destruction that a president had, who goes down without that on his resume that he destructed and destroyed black families. Is just down. He was a you know him as a, what was he, an actor? No, he was a part of a group that was intentionally going after certain groups, right? So then he becomes president, and he pushes the law and order, say no to drugs. Nancy Reagan, say no to drugs. Charles Rangel from Harlem, councilman. I think he was a councilman. He got involved thinking fooled. Fool. I'm not gonna call this old old man a fool. He was fooled into believing that there was going to be something other than what actually happened. That whole say no to drugs, law and order, put so many black men in inner cities in prison, was ridiculous, right? It just was ridiculous. So that's what law and order is to me. I did not see law and order yesterday. I did not see or order at all, right? So if we continue with the presidency, you got Bush, killer. I got some love for George Bush Jr. because he started a war because they tried to kill his father when his father was the president. That's just the perfect revenge film. Whether what he did to anybody doesn't matter. It doesn't outweigh the fact that he actually went to war with somebody because they tried to kill his dad. That is just like, okay, if you got power to do something, that's something I would do. But then we got Clinton, right? So I was reading something, and it was today. I was reading something today, and it was about this young girl. Her name was Kimber. What is it? Roland Reynolds. I'm thinking like Reynolds rap. Reynolds. Kimber Reynolds. She got killed in 1992. She was shot. She was being robbed, and the person robbed her, and he shot her and killed her. Young white woman, white guy. This is white things. And they talked to him. He eventually got killed. And they asked him, "Why did you shoot her? You already had the purse." And he shot her because of the way she looked at him. Like he expected her to cower, or he wanted more fear from her, and he ended up shooting her. So the father, right? The father, Mike Reynolds, is the person who was a part of creating the three strikes, right? So the guy who killed his daughter, he had a partner who, his name was something Wilson. He pleaded out and got like no time being involved in this murder. And you looked at his backstory, his back warrants, his back life. He had been a criminal for years, like deadly crimes, crimes here. They had done a lot of different crimes. And the fact that by the time they got to killing his daughter, they should not have been free men, right? And he started, campaigning and pushing this idea that these criminals are out and he should not have been out. These men should not have been out in order to kill my daughter. She should be alive had the system done its job. Now, why? I don't know why I came across this story. I know why. I was reading a book called David and Goliath. Anybody knows I'm fascinated with David, so I bought this book by what's his name? Gladman, Maxwell Gladman. I'm terrible with names. And I was reading this because I'm fascinated with David, and I wanted to read the story. This book is not really about David at all. It's just about underdogs, which the book turns out to be really great. That's what happens when you buy books and you don't read what the book is about, really. So I'm reading it, and they're talking about these underdogs. So he created this idea of going to actually start this whole three strikes and you out. Years later, Clinton, 2 years later, he picks up on this, and that becomes his push. And as we know, he's the three strike and you're out. It just was something interesting that hit me today. Like, wow, it started out for something for this, like, I'm not gonna say revenge, right? But it's something for his daughter. Why that touched me is I have my daughter, I'm like, that's my princess, and I want to take care of her. I couldn't imagine that happening and what I would do in that situation. Now I have a wife who passed away, who was killed in a hospital, right, because of anaphylactic shock, and I got paid to, like, basically stay quiet. Like, I can never say the place, and it's like, okay, and that's something that I sit with, because it's like, well, you know, maybe I could say somebody else, save another person, but they gave me a nice amount of money, which is like, it sounds terrible. That sounds terrible, but like Nancy Pelosi makes, sidebar, $3 million a month. What she gets a month is way more than what not way more. It's more than what I ended up with without giving you my information. So, but that's my payoff, right? Your payoff is you can never say anything about, I can talk about it. I just can't tell you where it was. And I always feel some sort of way about that. Like, damn, that's not a lot of money to not be able to tell. And I could tell my family, but I'm not supposed to ever. And they know I do documentary films, and they know I do things. And they were like, you can never mention it. So I connected to that story a little bit. Like, oh man, well, to be able to create something to avenge that, you know, next, right? Next thing. So in connecting that with this person creating law and the three strikes, and how it was used, how it's been used, and used in an intentional, hurtful way to put black men in prison, right? It's just been used. It's that whole three. That's not why it was created, but that's what switched around, and it's become something that has put a lot of black men and women, but more men, in prison for long amounts of time. And then that brings me to the other day when I'm looking at this, and I'm frustrated with what I'm seeing. I'm like, God damn, and I'm angry. But I also know underneath the anger there comes like a sadness, right? And so what's the sadness? I mean, what are you sad about? What am I sad about? And what I'm sad about is that I've done the things, right? I've done the things that they say, this is, you do this. You do this, and this is what you get. And for the most part, I've done the things, like from where I started from, and my narrative and my story, and I've shared it many a times by my mother, and coming from the hood, and my mother being a drug addict. I don't got no daddy. All the things, right? I could paint the picture, and I could paint it in a way that's like, oh God. Or I could paint it like, like no father, no this. But I had family, and I had groups of people, and I also had lots of negativity around me, and I had enough that if I just stayed still, I could be dead, because I was over 400 pounds. I could be dead because of the company I kept. I could be dead because of some of the things that I've done. I heard my phone go off. For all of those reasons, right? But I'm not. And like, I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm tired of my life the way it is. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live this life. And I was able to pray my way through and actually transform my life. And I went back to school, and then I got married and went to school, and I got the kid, and I got to travel, and I've done the things. So I've done all of the things. And in that, I've gotten the things. I've gotten a lot of the things that you're supposed to get. Like, I'm a homeowner, and I'm a property, and I have real estate, and all the things. And then I watch a group of people who I'm sure don't have all the things. I'm sure they don't have all the things. Just look at them. I mean, just look. I will not get off of the fact that was the most mediocre. My brother said below mediocre. He was like remedial. Like, mediocre group of people ever that stormed the gates, right? Just, gravy stains in the bed. It just was the worst group of, like, ill ever. And they were allowed to do things that we know would never happen had it been another group, right? But then in that conversation, it's like, but what would you expect? Why would why would I even mention that as why is that a sentence? Like you can I can do whatever I want to in this house. This is my house. This is my couch. This is my TV over there. I sit right in the middle. I like everything symmetric. I have my Sonos sound where I need it. Things are the way I want it. I decorate it the way I want. I buy the stuff I want. It's my house. I could take my shoes off or keep them on, whatever I want. Pants off, walk around in boxes. It's my house. I could do whatever I want. You can't do that in here. You can't do whatever you want in my house because it's my house. And for you to be upset that I can do whatever I want, or my daughter can do whatever she wants, or my girlfriend can do whatever she wants here because this is our house, would be ridiculous, right? It would be ridiculous for you to be upset with that. Like, you can do whatever you do in your house. I can't. The anger secondary on top of the sadness for some reason, I allowed myself to believe with all the things, whether you have all the things or not, whatever the things are for you, right? Everybody has all the things they want. That looking at life yesterday, knowing what I know, seeing the visuals of men being shot in the back, hands up, nothing in, men running from trouble, men gasping and being killed, on television, knowing that just because it's going to take the last 10 months, not even the existence, right? The existence of Black people in America from the moment, not even the moment off the ship, it's just from the whole trip to the land here in America. There's been small moments, right? There's been small moments of, oh, wow, that's great. Moments way before me. There's been horrific evidence of showing you're nothing, right? You're nothing here. You have no value. So I want to remember that, because today I checked out Bitcoin, right? Because I looked at this thing with the Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin on November 11th. I bought $100 of Bitcoin, $100, just to see, right? What is this? What is this thing they call Bitcoin? I have no idea. So I bought $100 of it, November 11th. I checked it today. It was $236. I don't understand. So then I had to look, like, what is a Bitcoin? So I looked it up. Get an explanation. It's about value. This is what it is, and this is the value. And then there's trust, that you trusted the bank, and they took it back to the gold, right? The gold, and the bank would secure your gold chunk, like it's worth this much, but it was too heavy and too difficult to break down gold to say, like, oh, I want to buy this horse, and I got a gold block. So they invented the paper that was the same value of the gold, and the bank, you would trust that the bank would give you, uncover what the money was from the bank, right? So you got these dollar bills now. And I was like, okay, value, trust. I'm looking this up. So rice was valuable. Salt, slaves, right? Slaves. So I'm interested, like, oh my God, but so slaves, it's a value. You can buy me. Let's say I'm a slave. Let's not say I'm a slave, but let's say I'm a slave. Pay $1,000. $1,000 back then, worth what it's worth today, it's ridiculous right now, right? And I have value based on what I supply and give you. So I'm able to give you things. Cotton, you can rent me out, you can lease me out, you can sell me for what you paid for me after you use me. Almost like buying like a 2-family house and you don't live in it, and you have some tenants in there, and you pay $100,000 and they live in there and they pay you $1,000 for each unit, and how much time it takes for you to get back your investment, and then you continue to get the investment as long as you own it. Value. So what hit me is we don't have value. Like, they don't value us in that way. We don't have the value. They don't value the Black I'm not talking about everybody, right? But I'm talking about it because there's no value. There's no value when you choking somebody and they're like, I can't breathe. It's not the first time we saw that with Floyd. He's crying for his mother. There's no value when you get shot down in your bedroom, sleeping, right? There's no value. There's so if there's no value for you, like what good am I if I'm not valuable? You can't utilize me anymore. You might as well put me down, right? And so I was talking about the moments that hit me. That's something that hit me with the value that we don't have the value. I'm not talking about how you feel about yourself, right? Of course, you feel like you're valuable. I feel like I'm valuable, but I'm sure Floyd felt like he was valuable, right? And I could run down a list of names. I could be like, oh, look at all these names and make it about that. But I'm just talking about like presently what happened yesterday for me and where I got hit yesterday with some of this stuff was some of the some of the most. My boy used to say this. Like I said it yesterday. He said the worst thing in the world, is a broke white man. I said this. Why would you say that? He's white. Like, because the world is for white men. The world belongs to white men. We can have anything we want at any time. The world is out. So if a white man is broke, then what good are you? So if that's the sentiment of a white man, his own man, his own people, like what good am I? Right? So in that space of me watching that thing yesterday, me watching whatever that was, and now today is becoming a space where they're speaking about maybe there was a setup or maybe there was cops. I'm sure there were cops that knew it because it was like, come on in, bud. Selfies and things like that. I don't expect, because it's not my house, right? And that's really one of the things that's concerning. This is not my house, but I live here. But it's not my house. It's not my house, and that's why I'm frustrated, and that's what concerns me. And this is what I was frustrated about, and at the core, sad. Like, God damn it, how did I forget that? How did I forget that? No matter what, I don't have the value. And the people that were storming Capitol Hill yesterday and ushered in and ushered out in the most peaceful manner. I mean, if you watched it and watched how they lingered, I mean, first of all, that idea that if that was me in Pelosi's room, that would have got killed. First of all, that would never be me. Why? Even though my mother was a drug addict and I was all kind of a knucklehead, she raised me better than that. That's not an idea. I would sooner smash an Apple window to snatch an iPhone to get money to buy food. Facts. Than storming. I would never think to do that. I got more sense than that. My mother raised me better than that. She raised me better than that. Was she, the Beaver's mother? No, she wasn't, whatever her name is. Oh, she wasn't the Brady's mother? No. She wasn't even Good Times' mother? No. She was my mother. And she raised me better than to do some of those things. So that whole idea, well, if this was me, that would never be. There's no part in my frontal lobe or my back lobe. My daughter's learning about brains right now, and she can tell you, oh, Dad, that's the such and such and such. That it would ever dawn on me to do that. That's why. Well, for what? For what am I storming in there, breaking open windows? Why? What? For what? So it wouldn't be me. So it wouldn't be half of the people that I know, because that's not how we roll. We know better. Now, do we know better because we know what we'll get, like a punishment? Or do we know better just because that's not our thing? We got other things to worry about. So it would never be me doing that. I would never do that. It's not interesting to me. But to see it happen and just watch the reckless, like, disrespect for the space, they hanging out up on the top, waving flags. looking like roaches on something. It just was just like, really? That's what we doing? Slow brow. And they just allowed it. And when my little group of people want to protest a killing of our brother, we get smoke bombs and Billy clubbed up, and you know what I mean? It's just, but you're letting me know it's all information. This is what I tell my daughter all the time, babe. It's just information. It's information, and the information was a reinforcement to something that I kind of slept on. Like, life is good because life is good, right? I have the things. I have the thing. I can go, I can eat, I can fly, I can do, well, not flying anyway. I can do what I want to do. So it's like a pseudo American dream, but whose dream is that, right? But whose dream is it? I appreciate it. I'm not complaining about the space that I'm in my life right now. And but then at the same time, it's like at what cost and who and for how long? And for how long, right? How long are you allowing that to happen? I don't know. So that's just wanted to rap about that. Old boy is leaving. Did you hear his did you hear him talk about, I don't know if that was an apology. He was reading it. It was painful to watch. I don't think he's leaving. I know for a fact he's not leaving. I think it'll be too much trouble. I think the best thing to do, like I come from addicts, right? I come from addicts. So you learn to walk on eggshells and you just stay quiet. Like when there were no, like when the alcohol was gone and there were no drugs and it was time for drugs, but we didn't have any drugs in the house. Like it's not was like we were using drugs together. If my mother didn't have drugs, she was angry. She was an angry person. You know, it was temporary, but it was just like the best thing for me to do was to be invisible. 400 pounds being invisible is not easy. It's not easy. But I was up out of the way. The best thing to do right now is just to lay quiet, leave this man alone, and just let the clock keep ticking. I'm hoping he doesn't do much more because what I saw yesterday was it really was they thing, right? That's just your stuff. It's your stuff. So like five to eight black people over there. You can get it too. Y'all all can get it. Y'all can stay over there. You know what I mean? What are you doing over there? What are you doing over there? Stay over there. But keep it all over there. Because I'm over here. And to stay away from here. And let's just have a smooth and easy transition out. And I'm just going to stay quiet. Same way I stayed quiet as a kid when things were not going well at home. Because I don't think things are going well. But definitely a wake-up call yesterday. Just a reminder. Not so much a wake-up call. A reminder. Like, dude. Don't think that it changed. Don't think that things are so kumbaya. I love who I love and who loves me. You know how to go. I love who I love and who I love loves me. And that is a spectrum. And there's some people in there that I don't rock with. And they don't rock with me. And that's fine. And it's all good. It was a little hurtful and having to, explain some stuff to Sai, her school. Had a moment to explain some of the stuff. One of the principal started crying. It was like almost started crying. He was very touched. He was very moved by and frustrated and angry. Because it is frustrating and angry to have to explain this to these kids because it's there. And they're at the age that you know about it. I can't turn it off. Really, I can't because it's just fascinating. I see the same clips over and I see more and more. And the more I see it, I see the deeper they went in. And it's not privilege. It's just was like, what are you doing in there? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know why you're there. Half of you, very much pack mentality. It takes one or two people to say, let's go in. And somebody who didn't necessarily come for that, they came just to protest and be annoying, is now climbing in a window. You think that woman, that soldier, thought she was going to get shot and be dead? No, that wasn't her plan. Stupid people have stupid lives, though, and that's facts. That's something somebody very important used to always say to me. Stupid people have stupid lives. You want to know a stupid person? Look at their life. There's some facts in there, right? That was a mistake. And I guarantee you she didn't go there thinking that was going to happen. And I'm not happy anybody died. They said 4 people died. They did not think they were going to die. I can guarantee you that. They thought they were going to have some fun and yell and, drink beer and stomp cameras. I mean, this was ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Uh, but anyway, love, love your daughters. Take good care of yourself. It's some strangeness happening right now. I walked the dog and it was eerie quiet out there. And I'll just say I live in an area that it's not prominent like it's Beverly Hills. It's a nice area, but a couple of blocks over, it's some mediocre people over there. And I saw some of them walking the dog today, and it's that space. If I just cut the corner, I don't want no trouble. I don't want nothing. I don't want to be involved. I don't. It's not a question of toughness. It's just like I got too much going on. I really, really do. I got too much going on to get it in the nighttime from somebody. Nah, I'm good. Cut that corner, turn, and was right back home. Like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. I'll see you in the morning time where I can really see you. But it's a little sketchy. It's a little sketchy, and I'm aware of it. And I think the space is that space right now because they're revved up and they're angry and they're here. They're definitely in my area. It's not like I don't live in an area where they're Trump supporters. There's definitely Trump supporters, but there's also some other supporters as well. And I'm aware of that. And I kid you not, I said it before. I am literally the only black man in this neighborhood. The more and more I walk around, the more I realize that, the more it's like, how did that happen? How how do you become the only black man in your neighborhood by mistake? I have no idea. I swear to you, I have no idea. And it's it's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing or good. It's just like never, none, no one. I kid 8 blocks each way. It's just like, wait, how did that happen? How does that happen? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, love your daughters. Take good care of yourself. Stay safe. It's cold out there. It's really, really cold. Bundle up. I'm bundled up. I got my little fur hat on, and it's not a fur. It's a hat with fur. It's a it, it's not a rabbit skin hat. It's a nice hat. It's it's nice. It's goose down with fur, but you can see me because I have low blood, so I'm like, oh my god, is it chilly? So my house right now is like 78. It's like all day. My bill is through the roof. I'm like, I don't care. This is what do you get? 3 months of winter, 4 months. Let's do it. I'm in. I'm barefoot right now, and I'm comfortable. So anyway, you take good care of yourself. Thank you for hanging out with me just a little bit. Love your daughters. Take care of yourself. Do something. How's your new year looking? Are you doing the things that you said you were gonna do for your resolution? Are you still dieting? Did you get your teeth cleaned? Did you? No, you didn't. I did. I did it for us. Did you get that tooth fixed though? You know what I mean? Like, are you still sticking? Because the second week is when it starts to fade, and I think we have just hit the second week, maybe. What's up? What's happening? How's everything going? You got any big plans? You wanna what am I? Accountability partner? You want to partner up? Let me know. I'll partner up with anybody. I will partner. I am good at accountability. I'm good at it, and I need a accountability partner that I don't have to pay. I paid for accountability partner, but it worked. It worked. I'm not paying for one now. So if you want an accountability partner, holler at your boy. Let me know. I'll get back at you. You go. It goes down on the on the DM. I didn't know about that a few months ago. Remember that? I didn't know, but now I know. All right, take good care of yourself, man. Peace. Thank you for hanging out with me a little bit. This is Samin. You've been hanging out with me on the Semi-ish show. Um, Thank you for allowing me into your house tonight. Are you at home? Don't take me in the bathroom though. Don't take me in the bathroom because I can see you. I can see you. Take great care. Peace.